This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Very pleasant good evening. It's time for Small Biz Florida right here on WPSL Port St. Lucie and WSTU in Stewart. From Palm Bay to the Palm Beaches, here's Tom Kindred.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida, the podcast and broadcast that is all things business across the Treasure Coast and the entire state of Florida. Small Biz Florida is brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center Network and is produced by the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to highlight and promote business assistance resources, celebrate entrepreneurial success, present best practices, and most importantly, provide timely business information for Florida's small business owners and operators. I am Tom Kindred, and I serve as the Regional Director for the Florida SBDC at IRSC. And as I always like to tell folks, I have the bumps and bruises and scars of 25 years of small business ownership. So for me, the mission of this program is simple and clear. Make sure small business owners are aware of all the powerful business assistance programs available to help them start, grow, and succeed. And of course, one of those important programs is the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College. Tonight, again, I always want to start to remind businesses as we had some glimpses of normalcy, and then of course we had kind of the surge in coronavirus cases again. So we are again now dealing with the reality of again what is a very disrupted, challenging, and ever-changing marketplace, but I want to remind everyone that the Florida SBDC here at Indian River State College has expanded our consulting capacity. We are bringing on some, what we're calling kind of temporary consultants, specialists, subject matter experts in digital media, marketing, strategic planning, HR, finance, so that we can really get out in the field and engage with business owners who want to talk about moving forward, reopening, reacting to the marketplace. So again, I want everyone, the most important thing, if you don't remember anything, remember that it's very simple to get in touch with us. It's 336-6285. You can talk to Katie and schedule an appointment with an SBDC consultant just to have a conversation about where you are in the business, or it's FSBDC at IRSC.edu. So take advantage of this program. I will also let folks know in our listing area that on the horizon, I believe there are going to be some grants coming from some municipalities. All that is still in the works, but some government agencies are receiving their CARES Act funding, and some of that money is dedicated to small business grants. So please stay tuned for information on those grant programs. They are coming soon, so it'll be an opportunity to potentially tap into some resources, again, to kind of help the business. The PPP is reopened, so we are also available to help those that didn't apply during the first round. So if you're still interested in applying for a PPP, we are happy to help you there. So again, I want to make sure we get that out there first and foremost, that the Florida SBDC at IRSC is here, and we are ready to engage and talk about what you need to talk about in terms of continuing to work your way through this issue. So with that, Greg?
So is United Airlines returning their PPP funds and firing 36,000 people?
Yeah, I heard that on the news today. I heard they took PPP funds and then looking to lay off. But I guess from the information is that this thing has unfortunately gone on a little longer than we had. I think any of us had kind of anticipated.
Yeah,
so
no kidding.
No kidding. It is just small business owners and operators are taking a beating. State colleges, universities, I think are gonna take a beating through this too.
Well, the big one was Stanford last night. they made the announcement that 11 of their 36 sports programs, over 1,000 athletes, gone.
Wow.
Now, hats off to Stanford on this one, that they are going to honor the scholarships for a year. And most, Stanford's, they're smart kids, so they'll do well.
Right.
But
it's we are in really, it's an overused term, but we are totally in uncharted waters here with this thing. It's, normally disasters for us in Florida entail a hurricane, which we've had our share of in the last.
We could have a COVID hurricane this year. Just think about it.
Just what we need.
Double dose.
Just what we need. But it's been tough. So again, the time is now for businesses to been a lot of examples of innovation and entrepreneurial mindset out there, doing what you can as small business owners to survive and get through this thing. So again, all we can tell you is hang in there, small business on, and we are here to assist and help you. And please take advantage of this program. We've got about I'm going to say at this point probably 15, 16, 17 consultants that are ready to talk to you about what's going on in the business. So take advantage of the program. With that, we've got some real entrepreneurs and real business people with us tonight. We've got one of my favorite people, certainly one of my favorite entrepreneurs. The reason I like this entrepreneur so much is because I'm telling you, she is exactly what you want to see come in, because she's the kind of person that she had a mission, she had an idea, and she made it happen. So often people, they've got good ideas, but you know what? This is not easy. It is tough, and I don't fault anyone, but our good friend Brooke Henzel, she stuck with it, and I've watched her over the last couple of years really do amazing things with her business. Brooke is the founder, owner, and operator of a business called Vegan Heavenly Delights. Brooke, welcome to the show this evening.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thanks for those kind words too, Tom. I appreciate that.
It's every bit of that's true. Let me tell you, and we're going to prove that tonight on this show. Everybody will say, Tom, you are right. And then we also have with us, as always, we love to have IRSC School of Business students, because they're the best around, well trained, good students that get great experience while they're here in the School of Business. We've got with us a young man who is actually interning in some of our business areas with us. We've got Mr. William Cunningham. Welcome to the show.
Hello. How are you all doing tonight? I'm super excited to be here.
That's good. We love it. We love talking about the School of Business and love talking to students. But again, Greg, I'll go back to you real quickly. I always kind of open with what's happening in your world, anything we need to know from the world of broadcasting. And
IRSC summer camps. They're going well. They're going real well. And actually, Coach Walt is going to come in and help Charlie for the sessions next week. The swimming sessions are SRO. So, they might make a spot for you if you really want to get in there, but they're pretty much sold out. And they added a volleyball camp a little bit later in the summer. And at least broadcasting wise on this station, all the NBA teams made it into the bubble. So our first broadcast will be August 1.
Was there some sort of deadline to make it in the bubble?
There was.
Yes.
Because the mayor of Orlando had until 5 o'clock yesterday to shut down the entire city. And that would have meant the bubble. But all the teams skidded in by about 4:59 last night, and they all made it. So there will be a season in the NBA, barring, obviously, major health problems. Baseball's going to be back. Just got the baseball schedules from both the Marlins and the Mets.
Okay.
Unlike the past, we're going to do the Mets full 60-game schedule, or as many as we can get in.
Well,
So,
good.
yeah.
So we will have sports on WPSL and STU.
Just going to be a little different because the broadcasters won't be anywhere close to the stadiums. They'll be in a studio. Yeah, this is going to be
Watching it on, I guess, watching closed circuit TV or something of the
Yes,
game.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it is a whole new world out there.
Sure
so,
is.
So
Yep.
anyway.
Yep.
All right, Greg, we appreciate that. So I want to get started because I love talking to Brooke, our standout entrepreneur, founder of Vegan Heavenly Delights. Brooke, start us off with a little bit of your pathway, your background pathway to launching a Vegan Heavenly Delights.
Okay, well, about 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and the doctor wanted to put me on medication, and I don't do medication, so I said thank you, but no thank you. I'll handle it myself. I read a book called Eat to Live by Dr. Furman, and something clicked in my head about eating for nutrients, and that's his whole concept. And he had two options. You could either do a plant-based or non-plant-based, and I went cold turkey, no pun intended, to a plant-based diet. And in 9.5 months, I lost 90 pounds, and that's what started my journey as a vegan. And then I couldn't find any foods that were not highly processed and didn't have refined sugar, especially chocolate, because I'm a chocoholic. And so I started making my own little treats because I'm a good home chef, and I love to bake, and I love to cook. And in my journey, I got certified as a personal trainer, and I got certified in fitness nutrition so that I could help others do the same and make their diet better and lose weight if they wanted to, but just live a healthier lifestyle. And I was selling my little treats to my clients, and they kept telling me that I needed to sell them. So we started in the Stewart Green Market. We did that for 8 months. I was selling out every weekend. Then I came out with my cashew cheese spread, which is a cheese alternative made out of sprouted cashews that's a lot healthier. It tastes very similar to cheese, and we were selling out every weekend. So I said, okay, well, if I can make a cashew cheese, I can make a cheesecake, and I don't have to use sugar. So I made a cheesecake out of cashews, and it's made out of cashews, coconut, walnuts, sweetened only with dates and agave. So they're non-dairy, they're paleo-friendly, they're diabetic-friendly, they're super healthy for your body. And then I think about that year, my mother got very ill, and she went into the hospital, had to have open heart surgery. She had diabetes, high blood pressure, she was obese, and she had some major health issues that kept her from coming through the surgery. So I lost my mom, and then a year later, I lost my dad to stage 4 cancer. He was diagnosed and died within 6 weeks. So in a year, I lost both my parents. It really rocked my world, and I said, this is the time now. I took a little bit of the inheritance I had. I signed a lease in a building in Fort Pierce, and I started my own manufacturing facility. And here we are 4.5 years later. We're in distribution. We are now at the national level.
No, don't spoil the surprise. We got to get there.
Okay.
I want to.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, listen, I'm very excited.
Where is the manufacturing?
Yeah, that was my next question. Tell us where you
So
actually manufacture.
We're on Oleander in between Midway and Edwards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I looked at one facility, and that was it. I signed a lease, and I started.
Talk to us. Go kind of take us in depth a little bit. I mean, you've got an awful lot of products. I mean, are they primarily dessert type products, or have you started other type products? Talk to us about the product line.
Okay, so my whole plan in the beginning was to be a vegan food company, making everything, all types of foods, from meals to soups to desserts to appetizers, anything that we can possibly make. If you're familiar with Amy's Organic, she makes a whole line of food. That's my plan, is to be Vegan Heavenly Delights, but a vegan. You know, she offers vegan products, but our whole line is going to be vegan.
Right. So, but primarily, what are you manufacturing now?
Now we manufacture our protein power bites. We manufacture cheesecakes and cashew cheese.
Where are the samples? Come on. What's the deal here?
I should have brought some.
Good point, Greg. I did. I forgot. But I will tell you, Brooke is always very good when she does our Shark Tank events. She does always bring samples. And they are very popular. The most amazing thing, I think, when you have brought the samples and you do the Shark Tank events, the Pioneer Pitch events, I mean, people are shocked that this is vegan product. I mean, because it is sweet and it is a great dessert and it doesn't taste vegan.
Exactly.
Kind of discuss that a little bit. Talk a little bit about how's all that working. If you're not putting sugar in, what gives it all that great flavor? And
Well, agave is a natural sweetener, and it comes from a plant. So it's a natural sweetener. It's just not refined white sugar, which is really not healthy for our body. So it's an alternative to sugar, and it's low glycemic, and that's why I chose to use that over maple syrup, because maple syrup is natural as well, but the agave is low glycemic, so it's diabetic friendly. And because my mom was diabetic, I wanted her to be able to eat that. So I did it for those reasons, and really, cashews are very creamy, so they have that same texture and flavor in your mouth like dairy would. So you can't even tell that it's not dairy.
These are cashew nuts?
Yes,
yes.
Really?
cashew
Wow.
nuts.
Wow.
And you know what I always liked about your whole plan was you followed kind of that textbook entrepreneurial path. I mean, you know, you experienced a problem yourself, you dove into the problem, but you recognized a problem and you developed a solution. I mean, is that kind of the way you saw it when you were going through this process?
Yes, and my other passion from becoming a vegan was that I started watching a lot of documentaries and seeing how we were treating the animals and what the animal agriculture was doing to our planet. So now my passion has become to help save the animals and the planet, because if we don't change what we're doing with our food system, we're not going to have a planet to live on. So that's one of the biggest passions of my company, and my mission in the long run is to help change the food system so that we have a more sustainable earth to live on.
So again, all natural, no artificial ingredients, no preservatives, no colors or flavoring, no soy, gluten, grains, no high fructose corn syrup, it's non-GMO, and there's no refined sugar. But yet this stuff tastes like, I mean, you make like it's more than just cheesecake. Didn't I eat a chocolate pie or something? Didn't I have some sort of
a dark chocolate cheesecake?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a dark chocolate, but there's 8 ingredients or less, so there's no artificial anything.
All right. So tell us, give us the big news. I mean, you've done incredible work in getting your product, Vegan Heavenly Delights product, positioned on some major retail supermarket shelves. Where can people buy your stuff now?
So we are located in all of the Whole Foods in the state of Florida. We're in Chamberlain's, we're in Peggy's, in Stewart, we're in a lot of mom and pops. We were in Lucky's Market and Earth Fare, but unfortunately both of those chains went bankrupt in January. So, you know, I built this business based on those stores, and then I lost 36 of them in January.
Wow.
So that's been a huge challenge for us to try and replace those sales, the revenue that we lost from that. But and we just launched in Whole Foods in Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas, Southern California, and Hawaii.
So in Arizona, someone goes to a Whole Foods and it says made in Fort Pierce, Florida.
Correct.
That's cool.
With my face on it.
With your face
that
on it.
is cool.
Yes, Brooke. Yes. Well, and again, what was again another textbook, you know, thing that you did. I mean, you really recognized that there was a big market out there. I mean, you know, one of the things we teach entrepreneurs is you've got to do that market research. I mean, are there enough customers? Is the market big enough to sell into? And I mean, you did. You dug into the market and you recognized that, you know, the plant-based food and beverage market, I mean, that's a, you know, almost probably today over a $5 billion market.
Yeah, and it's growing even more now, and the challenge with plant-based foods is that we don't have the infrastructure to keep up with the demand, because just for the month of March through this pandemic, plant-based foods went up plant-based meat alternatives went up 240% in 1 month.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point too. While, you know, the pandemic has been so difficult and hard on small business owners, I mean, is there some potential, maybe, opportunity that'll come out of this for a business like yours? People looking for a healthier lifestyle to fight off viruses in the future? Are you hearing that? Are you seeing that kind of?
Absolutely. In fact, we're meeting with investor of VC company on the 15th of July, just because the investors are out there wanting to invest in plant-based companies, especially center of the plate. So I have refocused my vision. We were not going to get into the plant-based alternative meats, but because of this and because of the demand, I saw it as an opportunity for me to come out with a vegan Texas-style barbecue rib and a pastrami. So those will be launching soon.
You got Tom's attention.
Yeah, I know. I may become a vegan if we've got barbecue ribs.
Yeah,
count me in.
Yeah, and it just really gives meat eaters an alternative, because there are people that are realizing that most of our pandemics have come from animals. I hate to say it, but
That's true.
avian flu, SARS, H1N1. I mean, all of them have come from eating animal protein.
You know what's interesting about the NBA? They're averaging now 2 players on each of the 22 teams who are vegans. And the one thing about the bubble is that they have world-renowned chefs. Mm-hmm. So they have, I think it's 3 vegan chefs who are preparing these meals, special meals for the players. I think it's very cool.
Well, Brooke, over the past couple of years, has inspired me. She certainly has inspired me to start. It's a little tough for me, but I'm doing the best I can. So I'm working my way towards a little healthier diet.
So when are the vegan meats going to be available? That's what I want to know.
So I'm hoping by September, probably sooner in food service, because I really want to launch the ribs and pastrami in the food service. But because of the restaurant issue right now, I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the best market. So we're doing both. It's going to be retail and food service.
So cool.
And I'm hoping by September.
Do you see, within your target market? I mean, were you sort of popular at first with younger people, and then, maybe a more mature market took to it, or did it all just happen at the same? I mean, seems like young people are a little more concerned about the diet. Do you see kind of a larger opportunity with the younger demographic?
Well, I think in the beginning, yes, the millennials are definitely on the plant-based world, because they talk to each other and they eat together and they educate each other. So they're more in that, field of wanting to be living a plant-based lifestyle. But I can tell you that even, seniors are becoming vegan and going to a plant-based diet because they see the value in it health-wise. I mean, a lot of it, if you read the research and you read some of the books, you can reverse some of the diseases like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. A lot of those things can be reversed with a plant-based diet.
I can see you marketing to sports franchises. San Francisco Giants were the first to have sushi in their ballpark. And they've done a lot of what you might think is rather strange, but the younger fans are different. Mm-hmm. The old hot dogs and peanuts, that's out the window.
Well, Mark Cuban invested in
Mrs.
Goldfarb's Unreal Deli, and she makes a vegan corned beef, and of course he's going to have it in his baseball field.
Well, yeah.
And Tennessee Titans, 15 of their players are on a plant-based lifestyle because they did that movie Game Changers.
Yes.
And it changed their game, so they stayed vegans.
Well, see, I would imagine, if you could somehow get on that trail with the nutritionists of the NFL. We know the lady down at the, Miami Dolphins, and they're really trying to push the players into at least some of the lifestyle.
Right. Mm-hmm. Some version of a healthier lifestyle.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
But if that could be available at the training tables,
that would be awesome.
That would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So how does someone find your products? Do they have to buy them at retail? Do you ship? Talk a little bit about distribution of your product.
Okay, so we are currently only in stores right now. They would have to request them if they don't see them on the shelf in their store. We are working on going into Publix as well. All of this takes time, because every grocery chain has their own time of looking at new products.
Right.
So, it's not a fast process, and we do not ship because it is a perishable product, and the cost is just very expensive. And in order for us to be able to ship, we have to have minimums to go with a third-party shipper. So it's very challenging. I would love to ship.
Yeah. you are, again, we talked about, you're a textbook entrepreneur. You saw a problem, you developed a solution, you developed a product, you stuck with it, you developed a plan. Talk about some of the challenges of entrepreneurship. Something that kind of advice for those people that have that idea. I mean, what were some of the things you dealt with in trying to put this all together?
Well, one of the challenges was when you go into Whole Foods, you have to get a third-party audit of your facility. And being a manufacturer, there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of safety guidelines, and that was very challenging. That took us about 7 months to do as a little company, because they treat us just like they would a huge manufacturer. There is no different. There are no, shorter steps. We have to do all the same thing. So that was very challenging. Now they're requiring us to be GMP certified, which is a whole nother ball game.
What's that?
So GMP is good manufacturing practices.
Oh, okay.
And it's very costly. And, Whole Foods has stepped up their game on, wanting suppliers to have that certification. So
Is that since the Amazon purchase?
No, because we got into Whole Foods when Amazon owned them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So we've been in there almost 2 years. August will be almost 2 years, but they just did that probably the last 6 months.
And talk a little bit about, again, you were one of those that, you made contact with an organization like an SBDC. You said, let's have a conversation. I mean, does it, the advice to entrepreneurs, do you look for that kind of resource, look for that kind of help? I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, trust me, I've wanted to quit many times. It's not easy being in the food manufacturing industry, because not only are you manufacturing the food, but you have to deal with the distributors who may or may not get your product on time, or may or may not ship your product to the stores. I mean, there's a lot of challenges in the food industry that you just don't know and you can't do your research on. You can't do it until you live it. Right. So, there's been many times where I've just wanted to give up, but I can't. I just can't, because my passion and my mission is there. Right. So financially, that's been a challenge. We've refinanced our house. I sold my RV. I had a car accident that I got a little money. I invested that into the business. I mean, we just find every avenue that we can to keep reinvesting the money so that we can grow.
And you, again, you also created this business with what is really a great strategy, intelligent strategy. You started small. You started working kind of that farmer's market, and you built up. You didn't try to go too big too soon. Talk a little bit about taking those incremental steps in entrepreneurship.
Right, and so that's why I say, I've grassrooted this company in baby steps, because I could have gone to Publix and I could have gone to national accounts, but I didn't, because I didn't want to put myself into bankruptcy. Because if you go to these accounts and they say yes, and then you can't keep up with production, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. So I just did it. I did it to where I knew that we could produce the product and that we would always have 100% fill rate. So it might take me a little bit longer than some other companies, but it was worth it to me to keep my business going and growing.
Yeah, and so tell us, how does, again, if we go to your website, is there a store locator or something, or do we just know where to find you in the particular stores, or can somebody actually try to locate your product?
Yes, they can. You can go to my website. All our stores are listed on there. Not all of them, because unfortunately we don't get a list from our distributor of who's currently buying our product. But you can definitely request it from the store if you don't see our product on the shelf. The cheesecakes are sold in the freezer as a non-dairy frozen dessert, and the cashew cheeses are sold in the refrigerated section with the non-dairy cheeses.
Where, locally within the Treasure Coast, where could someone find your product?
So currently, within the Treasure Coast, we are in Peggy's in Stewart and Nutrition Smart in Port St. Lucie.
Okay, nice. All right. I'm going to make a trip.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a trip and go get my dark chocolate cheesecake.
Yeah.
I'm placing a call to Peggy's tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Peggy, maybe you expect an order from Peggy's, Brooke. She may run out tomorrow after Greg and I are done.
That's in Stewart.
You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I am going to do? It's kind of funny. When we have my father over for dinner, we always offer a little dessert. I think he listens to the show, but we'll see. Maybe he doesn't listen tonight. I'm going to surprise him with a vegan dessert and see if he can tell the difference and see what kind of reaction we get.
That would be great.
Cool.
And just so you know, pumpkin's coming out in September.
Ooh.
So we have a pumpkin cheesecake as well.
Wow. Well, Brooke, again, you really have. You've been a great entrepreneur. You've been a great business person. You're the kind of folks that we love to work with at the SBDC because, again, you've done all the right things in building the business. You persevere through the tough times, and there's no tougher than right now. Have you seen, are the grocery stores ordering less? I mean, have you literally seen a drop in orders? Or
Actually, we haven't seen. We did for about 6 weeks. We didn't get any orders, only because our distributor limited the amount of products that the stores could purchase because they couldn't fit it all on the truck. So they went with just the essential items that people were buying. So our products sat empty on the shelves. So we're now just trying to get our product back on the shelf in some of the stores because when the shelves sit empty, they pull the tags and then the buyers don't know to reorder it. So it's a challenge trying to get the products back on the shelf in some of the stores, but we're getting through it.
What is the shelf life of your type of an all natural product? Is it longer or shorter than other shelf lives? How does that work?
So our cheesecakes are frozen, so they're a year.
Wow.
Our cashew cheeses are sold frozen to the store, and then they slack them out and date them 30 days. So they're refrigerated for 30 days. Good 14 days after you open them. But we use apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. Those are two really good natural preservatives so that we don't have to use artificial ones.
Okay, nice.
It's amazing.
I love it.
What's the website?
Yep, that's my next question. Website.
So the website is veganheavenlydelights.com. And you can find all our products on there and reach out to me if you're local. We are on Vegan Express 2020, which is a local. It's actually not up in this county, but in Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County. It's an online vegan food delivery program. So our products are on that site. You can go and order from their site from all the people that are listed on Vegan Express 2020, and it gets delivered to your house once a week.
That's Vegan Express 2020?
It's vegan.express.
Vegan.express.
Mm-hmm. So they even deliver in St. Lucie and Martin?
They're only in Palm Beach.
Oh,
Dade,
they're
and
just Palm
Broward.
Beach.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not up this far.
Brooke, again, I can't say enough about you, your husband. I know works in the business too, and you guys have done some great work. Proud to be what little part we've played in what you're doing, and appreciate your support of our program, and appreciate all of your participation in our Pioneer Pitch events. You're a popular presenter for us.
Thank you.
When you bring the samples. So we appreciate all that and wish you the best of luck. And look forward to continuing to work with you and see the business grow. You're doing great work out there, so we appreciate that.
Thank you. Well, all my practice and all the advice I've gotten from the SBDC with my financial projections and my Shark Tank is going to help me on the 15th.
Okay, good.
Please.
Glad to hear that. Yeah.
Pray for me and hope that we get a deal out of this presentation.
Listen, we are absolutely behind you 100%. Hopefully you will get a deal and again, it is so dependent upon, continued funding. So we wish you the best of luck, but I'm not worried about you, Brooke. You got this, girl. You got it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, with that, we will take a quick break. We'll be back to talk IRSC School of Business with our standout business student, Mr. William Cunningham. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Small Biz Florida.
Looking to build a technical career with good pay and growth opportunities? Then register today for the Indian River State College's Marine Training Program. Hi, I'm Bob O'Brien with IRSC's Corporate and Community Training Institute. The Treasure Coast is a booming center for both boating manufacturing and recreational use, and the industry is growing over 20% per year. The Marine Training Program at IRSC will prepare the student to enter this high-demand field and work towards Yamaha factory certifications. Course topics will include theory and engine operations, maintenance and light repairs, as well as general knowledge and skills. Join a growing industry and start earning more today by launching a career in the high-demand field of marine engine and repair.
CCTI at IRSC Marine Manufacturing courses begin soon. For more information, call 462-7630 or visit irscbiz.com.
With any business, the most valuable asset are the people and the teams, no matter how small or large the organization. Hi, I'm Catherine Culhane, Associate Director for the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College. Let us help your organization turbocharge your team. As a certified driving forces analyst, I will help management work more effectively with your people, increase and improve communication, reduce conflict and stress, better understand strengths and weaknesses so that your people are properly aligned in their jobs. Hire the right people. Let the Florida SBDC at IRSC transform your company using a customized assessment system, knowledge, and resources. Grow and accelerate your organization by turbocharging your team. To get started, contact the Florida SBDC at IRSC.
For confidential one-on-one business consulting at no cost, contact the Florida SBDC at IRSC at 336-6285. Online at irscbiz.com.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And we are back. This is Small Biz Florida from the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute right here at Indian River State College. For those of you just joining us, we just had a great conversation with standout entrepreneur Mrs. Brooke Henzel. She is the founder and president and owner and operator and motivational leader of Vegan Heavenly Delights. Incredible,
She's amazing.
incredible company that she's created. A vegan line of vegan foods, and she has taken it from probably making it in her kitchen in her home to full-fledged manufacturing and placement in some pretty big operators such as Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. I mean, wow.
Great story. I love working with Brooke. Kind of segue from entrepreneurship and real entrepreneur to those entrepreneurs who are ready to go to work. We've got with us our good friend William Cunningham, who is a current Indian River State College School of Business student. Probably don't have to say that, but maybe another couple of weeks. You are graduating, correct, Will? You're pretty close?
Sir. Yes, sir. I'm so close. I can taste it.
And you are receiving a BS in...
Bachelor's in Business Administration.
Business Administration.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Nice. So give us just a little background on you and kind of your pathway to Indian River State College and kind of where you want to go when it's all done here.
Oh, yeah, great. I don't want to dig in too deep into me because I have had a very, very long life, but I will start.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I have quite a book. I'm working on writing a book. Yes. Everybody might find it interesting.
Right.
But as of right now,
18 chapters maybe.
I like write more than that. It's a long one, guys. One day I'll break into it for everyone. But as of right now, I just wanted everybody to know, I'm born and raised Stuart, Florida. I'm a local Florida boy. I've been here my whole life. Done a bit of traveling, but this is really my home. This is where I plan to, really raise my kids and be when I retire too as well. I love it here. Not necessarily the best place for an entrepreneur, but if you're a hard worker and you work on your networking, you can make it work. You really can. And Brooke, for instance, just to show
Perfect
you
example.
you can make it.
Right.
You can definitely make it.
No doubt.
And I wanted to start really by saying wow and thank you to Brooke because she did a fantastic job and motivated. She left me motivated. She really did.
She is, and that's again, like I said as we introduced Brooke, she's the kind of entrepreneur we like to work with because you know what, she does the work necessary. She did the research. She put the time in. She, to her point, she said she bootstrapped the business and started small and worked her way up. So it is definitely the folks we kind of love to see, and hopefully that's all going to pay off for her. Talk a little bit about the School of Business at Indian River State College. Talk about a little bit about your experiences. It is a relatively unique place to be involved in education. Small class sizes, great relationships with the professors. A lot of professors come in from the real world of business. A lot of opportunities to get real world experience. Kind of talk about your whole IRSC School of Business experience.
Everything you said is just a great graph of it. Honestly, I would not change my experience for the world. Through high school, I didn't really have the best experience. I didn't really feel like education was necessarily for me. It wasn't necessarily my path. When I was around 22 years old, my friend actually, he got my financial aid information, set me all up, and signed me into IRSC. I went there, and I got straight A's. I got the dean's list, and I loved it. I loved the whole experience. It was nothing like high school. It changed my whole mindset on school, and I stayed with it, and I stuck the whole time. I was kind of behind. You have to start, if you're not good at high school, you have to start like doing prereq classes. It may take you a little bit longer than the average. But, you do it as a small class, usually about 30 people, maybe 40. You really get to meet the professors, get to know a lot of the personality. If you want, you can sit in the front of the class, and they will know your name. Right. It is a definite fact.
Right. Mm-hmm. And there's no doubt. I mean, that helps to, especially in the tougher classes, maybe like the business calculus classes and the accounting classes, those that tend to be a little challenging. It's kind of nice to know the professor. But again, you get the opportunity to be able to engage and ask questions and get some understanding of the material. Is that kind of a fair statement?
That's 100% correct. And not only that, these professors will go way out of the way to help you and get you where you need to go. I personally did have a hard experience with business calculus. It's funny that you brought that one up. That was a very tough course for me, but my professors did do their very best to make sure that I exceeded and got all the help that I needed to pass that course. And I must say, that was, of my whole degree, that was definitely the hardest course for me.
Did you ever have Tom as a prof?
I did not.
Oh, no, I was just hoping for some dirt on it.
Yeah, he missed that experience, yes.
I'll dig some up.
Yes. Talk a little bit about, of course, prior to COVID, there, the new thing was that maybe, IRSC has a lot of its classes online. It's convenient. And, and a lot of our students, in the kind of region that we're in, a lot of our students work. They work while they're going to school. And, of course, IRSC really has a great, program that makes things, they accommodate students, night classes, online. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about that offering. I mean, did you feel like you could continue to work and still be engaged in the college? And did they make it convenient and for you to attend the classes?
Oh, yes. Considering I've made it 6 years at the college, a little longer than I needed to be there, but I've enjoyed every minute there. Oh, yeah, I did it. That's right. I made it. And they really make it very convenient for you. They make it very easy. There was a moment in time, where they did get a little overloaded with new students, and I do understand that, when you have so many students coming into the school, they were trying to switch over to that new Workday program, right. And it was a real, that was kind of hard for the school. But after, they started to build that structure up and get it going, it seems to me like it was a smooth move. It really was, and I do enjoy it.
Nice. Talk about, we mentioned, and one of the things I love to talk about the School of Business is all the opportunities to get real world experience prior to graduation. Talk about, because I think you've been through each one of these steps, capstone, DECA, internship. Talk about the opportunities out there to engage, to network, and to get some real world experience.
Yeah, correct. No, and they offer great experience. A lot, if you go through the program, depending on what program you choose, you can actually find, different experiences that you can get part of, different programs that you can become part of with the school that will really help excel, what you're trying to do. Like you said, I've been through the whole thing, and I've done the virtual classes. Right now, even I'm doing this internship technically virtually. Everything I do is really online. I'm doing a lot of go-to meetings, Skyping, things like that, and they really give you that feeling, you're working for a real business, and it's really true. It's what it's like in the real business world.
Right. And did you do a capstone class, or have you done that yet? Or
this is actually my replacement of the capstone. Okay. The IRSC actually offers you two different options. They offer you the ability to do the capstone or an internship. Okay. Because of this COVID, they were actually not going to do the internships. And I had already signed up for my course to be able to do the capstone. And I had gotten a call from Dr. Bailey, and she said, hey, we're just picking a few people to do the internships. You look like a great eligible person for it, a candidate, and we would love to see you try. You know, at first I was a little hesitant because I didn't know how it would all work out. I told her I'd give her a call back. Within about 10 minutes, I called her back, and I told her, you know what, let's do this. I think this is a great opportunity. Let's get it going.
So you are actually interning with the Entrepreneurship Development Institute. You're working very closely with our marketing specialist, and you're pretty engaged. I mean, you're helping the St. Lucie County EDC and the Virtual Business Recovery Center put together webinars and trainings. You're actually helping produce this particular program, also helping to produce Small Biz Florida, the podcast. So again, you know, lots of stuff that you don't see in the classroom.
No, that's correct. And I really love the experience. It's something that you might not get. You might not get this experience until you do one of these internships. Although, like, you're in the classroom and you get a lot of good experience, you learn a lot of these things that you'll be using throughout your career. The experience is so important. And the fact that I got to do this with you, you know, I feel the experience. I already feel myself excelling.
Yes. You just stick with Greg and I. You know? You're going places.
Hey,
Yeah, I asked him if he wanted to intern here, and he started running out the door.
He locked the door on me.
Right. I saw something, Greg, about the pearly gates and something about they were going to.
That was a funny cartoon.
Yeah, we're going to give you we're going to give you some brownie points for being in broadcasting. You get to go straight through. William, again, you know, you're helping us, and you're you're doing an internship, and so it really is. Unfortunately, I guess, did you kind of lose that last semester? Did they? What was from a student's perspective, kind of what happened that, you know, this spring semester? I guess, you know, sort of, we never came back after spring break, I guess. Is that?
Great question, honestly, and it is something that has been revolving through my mind since spring. Yes, it hit me very hard. I've really loved being on the campus. That's what hit me the hardest. One of the best experiences of college is being on the campus and networking. You get to meet all these new people. You get to show your face, and it's a great environment. And then when they take that environment away from you, it almost can take some of your drive away. So you really have to know, like, you want this, and you're doing this for you at the end of the day.
Right. No, that's a good point. You just to like Brooke in entrepreneurship, students have really got to kind of dig in now and persevere through this until we kind of get back to some normalcy in education. What are you hearing from classmates and students out there? Are they, to your point, are they staying kind of motivated? Are they looking forward to getting back to the classroom? Are they kind of making their way through this, going to finish with face-to-face or online, either way?
You know, that's really based on per person. But, you know, you find some really motivated individuals, and, you know, I try to keep myself around those people. So I do hear that a lot, that they're going to push their way through, and that a lot of my friends are almost done, because as working way through, you know, I've built a lot of friendships as well. You know, so it's good to hear that they're willing to work as hard as I am during these times. But how are you going to work so hard for so long and then just let it give up this far? You know, It's a really hard thing to give up, and no one can ever take that degree or that education away from you.
No, so true. William, listen, doing some great work. You know, I love the fact that, and we always talk about it, that the School of Business really does give you guys some opportunities for real world experience. And I feel, you know, my son was in the same situation. He you know, we had to go bring him home and pack him up. You know, kind of a quarter of the way through his senior semester up in Gainesville, and brought him home. And I know he really loves being home with us when he could still be in Gainesville.
Yeah, no,
so,
it's a rough change.
Oh, Mom and Dad, you again?
Yeah, right. So I really, you know, but it is encouraging to see students like you that are going to hang in there one way or the other. When did you actually finish? You finished this semester?
I finished right now. Yeah, this is this is the end of the end. In April I'll be done. Or I mean, July. I mean, July 9th. July 9th I'm done.
July
yep.
9th.
Yep.
You're done.
Sorry.
Today was your last day of class.
Oh, I'm so sorry. August 9th. I'm getting all my dates mixed up. Look at me right now. I've been looking at too many dates.
August 9th.
Sending so many emails.
What I guess what is the word on the graduation? Do they kind of go and stay in kind of fluid? If we can hold it, we hold it. What are they telling you?
That's something I haven't really gotten too many words on. I'm waiting on that email to send in to me so I can see like how I'm actually gonna be doing this. I would love to walk. I mean, I want to see my picture of me up there. I want to get that diploma handed to me, you know?
Right. All right, William. Listen, advice as we kind of bring to close our segment here. Just advice for students that are kind of out there kicking it around. I know it's a crazy time. Maybe they don't want to jump in right now, but kind of advice for students out there thinking about getting a business degree.
Honestly, don't give up. If you have the drive and you have a dream to do something, put the effort in. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes you're going to hit some really hard patches, but pick at it, stay at it, step by step, and then when you look back, you'll be like, wow, I did this. It's just something that's going to happen, and you'll be so proud of yourself.
And Indian River State College, I mean, you said born and raised, grew up in Stewart. I mean, what a convenient place. I mean, how much more convenient could it be to go get a 4-year degree in business?
It can't be, especially due to the fact that that's where my father got his 2-year degree when it was IRSC, IRCC, Indian River Community College. That's correct, yeah.
And before that, it was IRJC, Indian River
wow.
Junior College. So, I mean, I always look out, and when I see young people like yourself and they talk about going to school, it always, for me, I think there's just no better time, no better place than right here if you're living in the Treasure Coast.
No, I agree 100%, man. I love it. And like I said, I would not change my experiences for anything.
All right. It is Mr. William Cunningham, standout Indian River State College School of Business student. William, thank you for what you're doing for us. You're probably going to hear William on this show a little bit over the next couple of weeks. William has some interest in broadcasting, so we're going to give him a shot at Small Biz Florida. And I feel good because maybe he won't fully take my job because I'm sure he wants to move on to bigger and better things. But William, we appreciate your help and look forward to hearing you on this show.
Look, you're very welcome. I appreciate everything.
And with that, we'll bring to close another segment of Small Biz Florida. We will talk to you next week.
You've been listening to Small Biz Florida right here on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast, webcaster to the world, and WSTU, Martin County's Heritage Station, serving the Treasure Coast since 1954.